Hello guys, welcome to my channel. Today's tutorial I'm going to be showing us how to make this beautiful airline gown with the design in front and the sleeve, and it has an inner pocket. And this is, if this is your first time of stepping by, please don't forget to hit on the subscribe button and turn on the notification bell to get notified whenever I upload a new video, and give this video a thumbs up, share, like, and leave a comment on the comment section. Let me know what you think about this tutorial, and please don't forget to share with someone, to share with someone, to share with someone. Thank you so much guys. Let's go straight to the cutting table. So guys, here I've placed my material on the table. Is I cut in two places, both the front and back has been placed, unfold, and left 1.5 inch zipper allowance. This will be having a zipper. So I have marked my starting line, and that line will also serve as my shoulder line. Now from that shoulder line, I mark my waist and my hip, then the full length of my gown. Now I'll go ahead and go down on that line with 1 inch. That 1 inch is for my shoulder slope. Then my neck width is 4 inches. Then the depth, I'll be using 6 inches for the depth. For the front depth, the neck depth for the front 6 inches, the neck depth for the back 2 inches. Then I'll go ahead and curve them as I'm doing. But at this point, I let her change my mind. I don't want the front to be to be round. I will make it a V. So instead of leaving it at 6 inches, I will leave it at 6.5, and then I'll use the slightest curve of my ruler to curve it to that side, a V. Now I'll go ahead and connect the shoulder slope, the 1 inch slope, to the neckline. Then from that slope, not on the shoulder line, let me mark my shoulder measurement first. Then from that place, I will go ahead and adjust the slope. Then from that slope, I will go ahead and mark my armhole. My here is 9.5. The person I'm making this dress for is boss here. Her boss is 51. Now from the shoulder line, I'll go ahead and mark the shoulder measurement. Then I'll go to the chest line, which is the armhole's length, and mark the the shoulder measurement on that area as well, and connect the point. Now I'll go ahead and input my bust measurement on that armhole length, which is serving as my chest line. Then I will input my waist measurement, and I will go ahead and input my hip measurement as well. Her bust is 51, her waist is 47, her hip is 53. So you know that this is for an extra large person. Now I will go ahead and use the curve part of my ruler, the hip curve part, and connect it like so. Then I will still use that same hip curve part to connect from my bust to the waist. The reason why I'm using the hip curve on this area is because the person is bust here. I want still to accommodate her bust. I've noticed that anytime I make clothes for her, she always complain that the bust, the dress is a bit tight on that area, no matter how I add. So the last dress I made for her, I used this method and it laughed. She did not complain at all. Everything was so perfect. So I adopted using this method for her. But if it's someone that is not as bossy as she, you can go ahead and use the straight part to connect it. Now on the hemline, remember the measurement I got for my hip plus the 2 inches allowance. I will go ahead and add like extra 4 inches on the hemline. I got 15 1/4 for the hip including allowance. Then I added 4 extra inches and I put it on the hemline and connect it like so. Then I will divide my armhole length into 2. Measure it, whatever I get, I divide it into 2 to get the middle. Go in with 1/2 inch and connect the points like I did, like so. Now I'll go ahead and add 1/2 inch allowance for my shoulder joining. That is to join the front and back pattern together. Added 1/2 inch like you see me do so. Then I'll go ahead and cut it out. Cutting it out, you first of all cut the back neckline first. You cut the two, but it's the back neckline that you use to cut it. So, and this is what you'll be having. Now going to the hemline. On that side, I don't want it to be pointed, so I'll go up with 2 inches and then cut it to that 2 inches with a slight curve like this. And this is what we are having. Now I will go ahead and cut out the front neckline. And this is what we are having. Now I'll cut this sleeve. Folded my fabric into 2. I'm cutting the 2 sleeves together. Then I'll fold it into 2 again. Go ahead and iron your fabric. Always iron it flat. This way it gives you smooth and neat work. Now the sleeve length, my sleeve length is 17 including allowance. I mark 17 and connect it like this. Then I'll go down with 5 inches. Then remember the armhole length was 9.5. I will input my 9.5. Then I input 1.5 extra inch, which is 11. Then I'll connect it like this to create my armhole cuff on my sleeve. Then on the hemline, I will input her round sleeve. Her round sleeve is 17. I'll divide it by 2, which is 8.5. Then I'll go ahead and add 1 extra inch, which is 9.5. Then I'll cut it out. I'll notch it on that area to indicate the center of my sleeve. Now I will use this material to design the sleeve. As you saw at the beginning of this video, I will use this black material. If you care to know which material I use for this, it's a cashmere that you're using for senator. I'm using the black cashmere to design this, both for the sleeve and the front. Now for the front, the design in front, I will mark 16 inches. 16 inches is her underbust. So I want it to stop on her underbust. Her underbust is 16 inches. So mark 16 inches, and this is the 16 inches mark you are seeing. Then I will place it. As I'm placing it, the 1/2 inch that I added for my joining to join my sleeve, it will be up. Then I'll cut it like this. It will be outside the 16 inches. Then I'll go ahead and add it like so. Then at the hemline, I will mark 2 inches. Then I marked 4.5 on this area. Then the shoulder line, I'll mark 3.5. I just want it to have a nice shape. I don't want the down part to be equal with the up part, the middle part. And so I reduce the down, but if you can still make it a V if you want, or you can make it a V if you want, or you can go ahead and leave it as 4 8.5 as well. Then I'll cut it like this. And this is what we are having. This is the design for the front. Now I'll cut a facing for this. You can use a lining for it, but I am not using a lining for this. I'll cut a facing for this. And this is my facing. Also cut the facing for the back part. Now you are cutting your facing for the back part, and make sure you include your zipper allowance on your facing as well. And make sure you always iron your work. Go ahead and cut it out. And this is what I'm having. Now I'll go ahead and slash the zipper allowance open. I cut it on fold before. I will slash it open. The back part, I will slash it into two. So I will be having two pieces for the back. And this is how my facing will be on it. Now where I will place my pocket. Remember I added half-inch allowance for my shoulder joining. So I mark from that point to half length is 18 inches. So I mark from the shoulder line down 19 inches, 19.5, which is that half-inch is for the joining of the shoulder. So I mark, or let's say from your halfway, you go down with 1 inch, and I marked it. I will go ahead and notch it to indicate where I will be attaching my pocket. Now I'm cutting my pocket. I'll go ahead and mark the length, the depth of my pocket. Mine, I marked it and make it 11 inches. You can decide what you want for your own. You don't have to use mine, but this is how I cut the pocket. Go ahead and spread my fingers on it and mark it as I am doing like this. Then the opening, I want my opening to be 8 inches. You can use 7 inches for yours or even more than that. But mine is 8 inches. Then I'll go ahead and cut it out, and this is what I'm having. This is my pocket. Now, this part, you see the way I place my hand to cut it. So if I put my hand inside the pocket, that part will be towards my hip line. So I'll go ahead and notch it so that I will know where to place it when I'm joining it to my main fabric. That notch will be towards my hip line, while the other one that does not have a notch will be towards the waistline. Now I mark the wrong part so that I will not mix it up, because the fabric is almost looking, both the wrong side and the good side is looking the same. Now I've gone ahead to use my hairstay to gum it. Then I took the facing and overlock it. While the design, I turn it with half-inch in round. But if you don't have an overlocker, you can also turn your facing just the way I did with the design. Then this is the design for the sleeve. I cut it on fold 3.5 inches. If you open it, it will be 7 inches. I'm marking the round part of my sleeve so that I will no mistake. Now the design for the sleeve, you will start attaching it on the wrong side, just like I am placing it like this. That is the reason why I even mark it, so that we will know. I will attach it from the wrong side. I'll pin it down, sew it with half-inch, then you turn it inside out and top stitch it. When you are doing the top stitch, it should be on the sleeve, not on the design. Top stitch it, then you flip the sleeve on to the design to the right side. You turn it to the right side, and you also go ahead and top stitch it. Go ahead and top stitch it like this. I'll do the same thing with the other one. Can you see I cut it on fold, Then the width is 3.5 inches. The width is 3.5 inches. The length should be the length of your round sleeve plus extra 4 inches. Remember, I added 1 inches for my round sleeve. This one you add like extra, either 2 or 3 extra inches, so that when you finish, you can trim it off. Now the back facing, I'll go ahead and slash it open. Remember, our back pattern is two pieces because of the zipper, so you slash the facing as well. Then you take one to the corresponding part and pin it down on it. I'll go ahead and sew it with 1/2 inch, notch it, turn it, and top stitch it the seam towards the facing and turn it to the wrong side, and then I will close it. Do the same with the other one. Then I'll go ahead and attach the pocket. Remember, the pocket, we've notched it, and the notch part of our pocket will be towards the hip. So the pocket, I cut 4 pieces, 2 for the back and 2 for the front part piece. So now I will take it. The part that has the notch will be on the down part, will be facing the hip line, while the part that does not have a notch will be facing the waistline. Now I've notched where I want to attach the pocket on my fabric, and I will be placing right side of the pocket to right side of the main fabric and pin it. Please don't forget this. The part that have the notch on the pocket will be facing the hip line, while the part that does not have a notch will be facing the upper part. Then you place it right side to right side. When you sew it, everything will correspond. Let me keep it aside. Then I will do the same with the front. I will still explain it here again. I hope you get it. The part that has the notch, the part on the pocket that has a notch will be facing the hip side, and you place the pocket right side to right side. You place the pocket right side to right side. Now I will go ahead and place the design on my front. The design, you place it on the right side. The wrong side of the design will be on the right side of the main fabric. Then measure the design on at that point. Measure it and get the middle so that it will match with the center of your main fabric. Measure it. I've already ironed my main fabric and I've gotten the center, so I will measure the design to know the center so that everything will match together. Then I'll go ahead and place it on it like this. I'll stitch it like this. Now I'll go ahead and place the facing. The right side of the facing will be facing the right side of the design. Then I will go ahead and pin it down. Make sure everything align at the center, the armhole, the shoulder. Make sure everything align, the neckline, everything is aligned perfectly. Then you go ahead and pin it down. Pin everything together like this. Then pin the design as well so that it will not move when you are sewing it down. And this is what it's looking like. So I'll go ahead and sew it with 1/2 inch like this. Notch it on that V and then turn it and top stitch it. I will top stitch it towards the facing, then turn it to the wrong side. Then I'll top stitch the design as well. So I've done that, and this is what we are having. Can we see? I've notched it there, then top stitch it round, and see how the facing is turning inward already because of the top stitch. Once you top stitch it, everything will relax perfectly. Then I'll go ahead and iron it well before I iron the tops, the line, the facing. Iron it well, just like I'm doing here. Now I'm going to be using my hemming gum and gum it down on this part. And gum it on this other part as well. Though I'm not going to be leaving it like that, because if the hemming gum is weakened, the the facing will be flying now. So I will take it to the machine and give you some what is it called? Give you some tack it on those points that I marked. I will tack it on some points so that when the hemming gum is weak, my facing will not be flying out. And I'll go ahead and iron it properly. Now I will do the same thing with the back. I will iron it, gum it. I will not gum it up to the neckline. When I'm placing my hemming gum, I won't put it up to the neckline, because I want to join the facing separately and the main fabric separately on that neckline, so that I will hide the seams on that area. Can we see? I like my work to always be neat. So I'll go ahead and gum it on that from the zipper line to halfway, so that I will be able to use it to turn the facing. And I've joined the pocket, top stitch it. I use 1/2 inch to join it. Then I've top stitched it. Now this is the sleeve. I've done join it as well. I'll go ahead and iron it. Coming to the front again, I'm going to be using these stones to design it, and I want to place the stones before I close my outfit, so that it will be easier for me. I'll go ahead and cut out the stones and place it the way I want. I'm not saying you should do it like my own. You can decide to design it as you want. You can decide to leave it plain like that. Just play around with the stones. I'm using paper stones. I don't know. I went to the market to get this paper stone. The last time I bought these stones was 250. I went to the market just last week to get these stones, and to my surprise, they are selling it at 500 now. It is God will help us in this country. So I'll go ahead and place all my stones, and I'll do the same on my sleeve. Please, if you've watched to this point and you've still not subscribed, please go ahead and subscribe. Show me love. Show me some love. Subscribe and hit on the notification bell to get notified. Give this video a thumbs up, share, and leave a comment. Thank you. This is how my stones is looking like. I will do the same thing with the sleeve. Then I've gone the back facing. Now I'll take it. This is my sleeve. The two sleeves, I've designed them as well. Take it to my machine and join with 1/2 inch. Close the sleeve with 1/2 inch. Then I will take my front and back to the machine. I'll first of all close the zipper allowance what I normally do with my own so that I have a perfect and neat zipper at the back, I will close it from the neckline down. I will close it to where I want the zipper to stop with the longest stitch on my machine. Then from there, where the zipper will stop, I will not change it to the normal stitch, to the basic stitch, and stitch it down, sew it down. Then I'll iron it before I will remove the stitches for the zipper side and attach it. That way you have a perfect zipper. Now I've gone ahead to fix it, and you can see how beautiful my zipper is looking. No squeezing, nothing. It's just so clean and beautiful. And this is what we are having. So now I'll go ahead and join it on my shoulder, close the side, overlock it. When I want to join the shoulder from the neckline, I will join lining to lining, facing to facing, and main fabric to main fabric. Then close the side using the allowance that are left for the joining. I will start closing it from my armhole. Make sure you match the pockets together. If you place the pocket well, you will, at the beginning, everything should be able to match perfectly when you want to close the outfit. Can we see how my own is matched? See how everything is matched perfectly. Now I'll go ahead and start sewing it from my armhole like this. Go around the pocket. The allowance that are left for it. Go round, and close it down. I'll do the same thing on the other side. Attach my sleeve to it. First of all, I'll go ahead and shape it. After closing it on the side, I'll go ahead and shape it. Then I will attach my sleeve to it. And then I'll overlock it and bring it to show us. And this is how mine is looking like. The neckline is perfectly finished, and I've gone ahead to overlock every seam. Everything is neat inside and outside. I've turned the hemline. I overlocked the hemline before turning it. Everything is neat, and this is what we are having. This is how my outfit is looking like. Can we see? Both the front and the back are lined at the center. This is my sleeve. I'll go ahead and iron everything and place it on my mannequin to show us. So thank you so much, guys. This brings us to the end of this tutorial. Please don't forget to subscribe. God bless you. God bless your nation. Wherever you're watching me from, God bless Nigeria. Let's stay safe and show love to one another. Love you all, guys. Bye.